How I ended up in Rehoboth Beach, what was the journey, and what does the name mean, and how did I get here? And the big part about hobos is that every place is a stop along the way, and this is a stop along my journey, my path, Rehoboth Beach. And I always had just wonderful memories of here, and I was at a crossroads of having sold my own old business and looking for something new to do. And being at a crossroads, I really tried to decide what to do and where I was going to go, and we ended up here. And hobos evolved out of it. It's a stop along the way for me. But it's also part of a dream that I've had for 20 years about having a restaurant that really caters to people with dietary choices and dietary needs, and also to be environmentally conscious and globally conscious. The cooking style that has evolved for me over the last 25 years has been extremely based on global different styles, but also a fusion of those and a melding of my own different take on comfort food and the way people cook and cook with love. And Hobos has really become a place where you come to eat food prepared with love, food that's made by a person that wants to cook for you and wants to make you happy. People are like, oh, she's a vegan and she's a chef. And then you become a vegan chef, and there's preconceived notions with that about what that means and what that tastes like or what that looks like. And I don't match any of those preconceived notions, and my food certainly doesn't match that either. So a big part of Hobos for me is being able to have people that aren't necessarily vegan or vegetarian or even not health conscious, or even, they like junk food, or they eat it, they eat at places that have processed food, and they're okay with that. To take that person and to introduce them to meatless meals, to introduce them to food that really tastes great, really tastes nourishing, really tastes loving, and they don't feel like they're missing anything. They have this vision of when they're going to get that plate, they're going to get something that looks like mush here, goo here, grains here, greens here. Most of it's going to be raw, and it's all going to be tasteless and taste like gravel. And it's breaking that stereotype that is really the challenge. It's that first meal, that first taste, that first bite. And the enthusiasm with which our team approaches that process is amazing. It's contagious. So they do try it for the first time, and then they say, wow, this is spectacular. This is incredible. This I want to learn how to do. And people are always asking me for my recipes. I am one of the only chefs in the world who will tell you their recipes. Oh, let me teach you. Let me show you how. I want my clients, my customers, my friends, I want them to learn how to cook like me, because if they can cook like me, and I learned from other women and men too, but mostly women, I learned from other women feeding their families around the world. This is how they feed their families. When you're poor, when you're living in a third world country, when you can't afford meat, when you're living a Hindu lifestyle, predominantly vegetarian lifestyle, whatever it is, this is how you feed your family and nourish them. And this food is prepared with the utmost care, because you're taking care of the people you love the most in the world. So that's how I learn to feed, and that's how I teach to cook. One of the things I really enjoy is the cooking classes as part of the outreach, is teaching people to cook like me. And a lot of times these people come to me because they have